Police Service Commission suspends DCP Abakari pending outcome of the investigation over FBI indictment. NDLEA apprehends lady with 35 wraps of cocaine inside undergarment at Lagos Airport. Federal government plans proper documentation of vehicles in Nigeria as FISC begins clamp down on traffic violators. Plus, Nigeria's D Tigers lose final group game at Tokyo 2020 Olympics as Akwa United secure Made in Nigeria Professional Football League title after thrashing MFM FC. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja, the nation's capital. I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Now to the news. Let's start the news by telling you that the Police Service Commission has approved the suspension of Abba Kyari, a Deputy Commissioner of Police and Head Intelligence Response Team of the Nigeria Police Force, from the exercise of the powers and functions of his office. A statement by the Commission says the suspension took effect from Saturday, July 31st, 2021, and will subside pending the outcome of the investigation. The Commission has also directed the Inspector General of Police to furnish it with information on further development on the matter for necessary further action. It would be recalled that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khali Baba, had earlier recommended the immediate suspension of DCP Abakari, head of the Police Intelligence Response Team, from the service of the Nigeria Police Force, pending the outcome of an ongoing internal investigations. This was indicated in a letter from the IGP to the Police Service Commission dated 31st July 2021, noting that the recommendation for the suspension of the officer is in line with the internal disciplinary processes of the force. The IGP had also reaffirmed the commitment of the force to the rule of law and assured the public of the sanctity of the prop, as well as the absolute respect for the rights and privileges of the officer throughout the period of investigations. Meanwhile, police in Zamfara State have rescued 2 of the kidnapped students of Federal Government College Birni Yauri, Kebbi State. The kidnapped victims were rescued in Dan Sadau district of Maru local government area of Zamfara State. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
The rescued 17-year-old Buhari Farouk and the 15-year-old Mariam Abdul Karim are among more than 190 students at Federal Government College Birni Yauri, Kebbi State, kidnapped by bandits in June this year. They were rescued by the tactical operatives of the Zamfara State Police Command deployed to Dansaro district in Maru local government area of the state after they spent more than 40 days in captivity.
The victims were immediately taken to the hospital for medical checks, and they were debriefed by the police yesterday, and by the grace of God, we want to take them to Kebbi State this morning.
While Mariam Abdul Karim is a native of Bushishi local government area of Niger State, Buhari Farouk hails from Engaske local government area of Kebbi State.
I am so grateful to the Almighty for the protection and also reuniting us with Mariam. We're so grateful to the government.
Police say the rescue of the 2 kidnapped victims is a strong indication that other abducted students of the FGC Birni Yauri could be located in Zamfara State. Hence, effort has been intensified to rescue them unhurt. In a related development, Zamfara State chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association has issued a 2-week ultimatum for government to secure medical facilities across the state. This is one of the resolutions reached at an emergency executive council meeting of the association held in Gusau.
In the event that the government and security agencies fail to secure health facilities, will be left with no option than to adopt a strategy of temporizing healthcare services in the state by closing all health facilities at 6 p.m. daily.
The enemy's decision is coming barely 24 hours after a gang of armed bandits attacked General Hospital Lansado, a Moro local government area of Zamfara State, where they kidnapped a ward attendant and a patient's relative, while 2 nurses sustained injuries. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA.
Still on activities of the police, Kaduna State Police Command has apprehended a total of 39 suspects for their alleged involvement in various crimes, including kidnapping, banditry, and gender-based violence. Haruna Mohammed reports.
The suspects were arrested from various parts of the state with various kinds of arms and ammunition recovered from them. Outgoing Commissioner of Police, now AIG, Musa Mori, says policing Kaduna State, especially in tackling banditry, has been a Herculean task. He gave a review of the successes recorded by the police from January to date.
Number of kidnapping suspects arrested 90. Number of kidnapping victims rescued 198. Number of homicide cases reported 66. Number of homicide suspects arrested 126. Number of cattle rustling cases reported 15.
While calling on the public to be security conscious, AIG Muri reiterates the need for people to volunteer useful information that will enable police to nip crime in the bud. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
The mastermind of Kano missing children, Paul Onwe, has been sentenced to 104 years in medium security custodial center Kurmawa by the Kano State High Court. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that the defendant, during the court session, pleaded guilty.
The 38-count charge labeled against Paul Onwe was based on the information provided by the Kano State government. Presiding judge of the Kano State High Court, Justice Zuera Yusuf, while delivering the judgment, sentenced Paul Onwe to 104 years in custodial center for conspiring, among other 5 accomplices who kidnapped children under 10 years from Kano and sold them out at Onitsha in Anambra State. Justice Yusuf therefore categorized the offenses of Paul to 3 classifications. The first category was that the court found Paul guilty in count 2, 8, 9, 21, 27, and 34, thereby convicted him to 7 years on each count, without option of fine to the sum of 100,000 naira. Also, he was guilty in count 3, 5, 10, 11, 22, 28, and 38 head count, sentenced to 7 years. While in the last category, Justice Zuera said Paul was in contravention of count 4, 12, 13, 29, and 38, and therefore convicted him to 4 years on each count without option of fine, and ordered that all the counts shall run consecutively. Although the remaining 5 defendants pleaded not guilty for all the charges labeled against them, hence their trial will continue. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Now, to fight against drug trafficking, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has apprehended a lady at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, with 35 wraps of cocaine. In a statement by the agency, the lady, who was caught during an outward clearance of passengers on Air Cote d'Ivoire to Monrovia, Liberia, from Lagos Airport, tucked the pellet of cocaine in her underwear to beat security checks. In another development, an intending male passenger going to Istanbul was arrested with 78 grams of cannabis mixed with dried bitter leaves at Gate A departure hall of the MMI on Tuesday, 27th July, during an outward clearance of Egypt Airline to Turkey. Also arrested on the same day was another male passenger going to Milan, Italy, with different quantities of 225 milligrams of tramadol and raffinol concealed in foil papers wrapped in a polythene bag. Meanwhile, NDLEA operatives on Thursday, 29th of July 2021, raided a warehouse at Mailefi village in Kontagora local government area of Niger State, where 125 bags of cannabis sativa, suspected to be supplies for bandits operating in some parts of the state, were stored. The federal government is on the verge of harmonizing vehicular information into a single platform to ensure that accidented vehicles are no longer brought into the Nigerian market, while also checking crimes perpetrated with vehicles. Michael Olale reports that as a prelude to the deployment of the National Vehicle Registry, a workshop was held in Lagos to sensitize key players.
Nigeria has one of the poorest recovery records for stolen vehicles globally, and this has cost car owners 1.8 billion naira between 2013 and 2015. This fact, supported by data from the National Bureau of Statistics, shows that out of 2,544 vehicles stolen between 2013 and 2015, only 1,377 were found. The missing link, as discovered by experts, is non-existence of adequate database for record keeping and tracking of vehicles in the country.
Set up the National Vehicle Registry to serve
technological-driven platform connected to multiple global vehicle identification number (VIN) is now being adopted by the federal government to document cars right from the port of entry.
The National Vehicle Registration System will, among others, serve as a single source of validation at the point of vehicle registration, while capturing and storing all vehicular information.
Although the purpose is to enhance revenue generation and block leakages, but key players here say it will guarantee greater internal security, check smuggling, and improve safety on roads.
The Virage platform would likewise improve road user safety, enhance vehicle roadworthiness, and improve traffic regulation enforcement.
The problems that are being encountered in the unregularized system of assigning number plates to newly acquired vehicles will be drastically reduced.
The process has commenced at the Nigerian Customs Service Kirikiri Light Terminal, where about 600 vehicles have been captured, but the incorporation of other vehicles have been mapped out in phases, including integration of vehicles produced within the country. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Nigerian motorists have been charged to adhere to all traffic signs situated at different points of the road in order to avoid road traffic crashes. This is coming due to the incessant flouting of road signs leading to crashes on the highways. In this report, a special report, Oyemi Ajayi finds out how much people know about road signs as well as efforts traffic agencies are putting up to curb these excesses.
Can this be said to be done out of ignorance of road signs of these drivers, or could it be simply done out of the driver's hastiness? Many a times, these sights are seen at different points in time, and sadly, some end in accidents. To make the road free from accidents and gridlocks, different road traffic signs are erected on or by the roads, including traffic lights, to allow easy flow of movement. But many still defy these, especially when there are no personnel to monitor. For instance, the idea of traffic lights is to allow for easy flow of human and vehicular movement, but many still defy the warning signs. Unfortunately, the recklessness of these drivers have also led to untimely death of traffic control agents and sometimes innocent pedestrians.
We try to neglect some of these very simple things.
Most of the accidents that are happening in the city, you realize that it's because of the way at which people are crossing the junctions or beating the traffic light.
But wait a minute. How much do Nigerian drivers know about road signs and markings, especially what zebra crossing stands for?
I don't understand about zebras passing time. I don't understand really.
I don't know.
Many have questioned if there are penalties for offenders, and if there are, what are the fines?
Sometimes you are asked to make that payment. Sometimes you are prosecuted by a magistrate, probably in a mobile court. And if you road sign or traffic light signs violation, if you violate it here in Abuja, after payment, you are still sent to hospitals for psychological and evaluation.
It has become imperative for road users and pedestrians to get used to the various signs and markings on roads and highways in order to ensure an accident-free driving experience on Nigerian roads. Many have also condemned the reactionary measure of arresting traffic offenders by road traffic management agencies instead of preventive measures, which some said had led to crashes as well.
That is wrong for anybody to hide and wait for somebody to commit offense. But what is even more important is the moral obligation that we have as motorists to ensure that we follow the traffic rules, whether or not the officers are there. That is very important.
While cautioning against road traffic offenses, they emphasize that responsible motorists also have the right to apprehend offenders and report them to road traffic managers for proper punishment. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The News at 10 is reaching you from Abuja, the nation's capital, on NTA News 24. There will be more reports after this break. Stay with us.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
Thank you for staying with us on the News at 10. And still talking safety, it won't be business as usual anymore for traffic light violators in the Federal Capital Territory, as the Federal Road Safety Corps will be heavily clamping down on offenders. The FCT Sector Commandant, Samuel Oga, made this known at the monthly joint patrol of the FISC Special Marshal. He said the Corps, in collaboration with some other road traffic enforcers, will be strategically located at some hot spots to arrest and prosecute offenders with several degrees of fines.
Use of traffic lights. Now, for anybody that will disobey traffic light for any reason, the vehicle will be impounded, and of course, he will be made to go for evaluation in a government hospital and some other measures. We're also thinking of the possibility of charging those people to court.
If you are one of them, you have to be careful, particularly the taxis, the cabs. They never obey traffic lights in FCT, and we are all out for them. And for critical offenses like overloading, use of phone while driving, overspeeding, violation, route violation, and so on and so forth.
Phase 2 of Jalingo Karim Lamido Federal Road in Taraba State has reached a significant level of completion, even as some benefiting communities occasionally interrupt smooth progress of work. Adamu Haruna Adams reports that Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has appealed to the communities to cooperate with the ministry and the contractor. It was during inspection of the project.
Phase 1 Jalingo Corner has been a done deal, and road users are plying it without any hitch. Corner Law, which is the Phase 2, is being aggressively executed, and work has reached some appreciable levels.
The only constraint we did not envisage we were going to encounter the level of unsuitable soil that we have seen.
I am impressed, fully impressed with the progress achieved so far and the quality of work that is being done here.
impressive performance. 36% completion at 28% time lapse, and virtually less than 1 year.
However, the Director Highways calls on people of Taraba State, particularly those in host communities, to cooperate with contractors.
I received reports of youths going to barricade the contractor's yard to demand for compensation for their crops.
La Sheke Bridge along Pantisawa Federal Road, Yoro local government area, which was awarded in 2012, is still not completed. Inspecting the project, Mr. Celestin Shawusu directs the contractor to return to site. In Jalingo, Adam Haruna Adams.
Let's shift our attention to politics now, as Governor Simon Bakola Long has commended members of the All Progressives Congress in Plateau State for their peaceful conduct and maturity during the World Congresses of the party held throughout the state. In a statement by Dr. Makut Simon Macham, Director of Press and Public Affairs to the Governor of Plateau State, Governor Lalong, who went round some wards in Jos North local government, alongside the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Idris Wase, Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talen, Secretary to the State Government, Professor Danladi Abok Atu, state party officials and other political leaders witnessed a peaceful exercise. At each of the wards, the elected party officials pledged to work hard for the unity, progress and peace of the party, making sure that it does not only win elections but provides quality leadership for the people. They affirmed their loyalty to the party hierarchy and to Governor Lalong as leader of the party in the state. Governor Lalong, in a remark, said he was delighted with the reports emanating from the 17 local government areas of the state where the World Congress elections were conducted peacefully, and assured those who may have grievances that their concerns will be addressed through the party's internal mechanisms. Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Idris Wase praised the leadership of the governor, who has brought the party together by insisting on fairness, justice and inclusivity. Still on politics, the All Progressives Congress has elected leaders to run the affairs of the party in various wards across local government areas nationwide. Momso Demian Ati compiled reports on various congresses held in some states.
From Kebbi State, Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the successful election of leaders to run the affairs of the party in the 225 wards of the 21 local government areas of the state was confirmed by the chairman of the National APC Monitoring Committee, Dr. Osita Okechukwu.
Your solidarity is what they relate to. What Kebbi State has done is what President Muhammadu Buhari has said. That for us APC to win again in Kebbi, to win again in Nigeria, we must build from bottom to up.
The ESCO of 2018 were the ESCO that were holding the party when we were elected in 2015. And it's unfair to change them. And we left all of them. That was the decision we took in 2018. So what we are doing here today is not new. This is characteristic Kebbi. And we believe power belongs to God.
And in Enugu State, the APC World Congress took place in the 260 wards of the state. James Okwarai Kocha reports that the exercise was monitored by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyama, who visited some wards.
It's been very peaceful, which is what we have been urging them all, that it doesn't matter who comes up, but just do it peacefully. And it's been like that.
It's quite successful. We feel greatly honored that the chairman of the Congress Committee to Enugu, Dr. Jom, and his team found time to come to my ward. We are satisfied that the Congress held in those the turnout is tremendous. We've not gotten anything negative. Yes, the Congress held in all the wards.
We have to build a party.
I like the way it's going. It shows we're one family. I'm happy, proud to be a part of it.
I'm now a member of APC.
From Imo State, Bride Ebocho reports that the ward congresses held across the 305 wards was peaceful and orderly.
The exercise has been very peaceful and the turnout has been very, very impressive.
We have produced an ESCO that will lead this ward for the next victory of the party.
The people that emerged are credible people.
Everything went well. There was no quarrel.
Everybody was in order. Everything went well.
And finally, from Gombe State, Governor Inuayaya has charged APC supporters to acquire their voters' card to enable them fully participate in future elections. Abbas Mekano reports that the governor spoke shortly after affirming the leadership of the party in his ward, following a consensus reached by all stakeholders in the area.
To 2023, we are transforming our leadership from the ward to local government to state up to the national level. And we are complying with the advice and guidelines as stipulated by the constitution of the party.
The ward elections is a fulfillment of the party's constitution. Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
The United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, is willing to complete the construction of 6 mini hydropower plants in Nigeria within 4 years and also secure $2 million to support the one at the Obudu Cattle Ranch. Regional Director, West and Central Africa, UNIDO, Jean Bakole, revealed this during the signing of an agreement to support Cross River State in its agro-industrial revolution drive. Paul Abel reports.
Cross River State Industrial Revolution has attracted several interests from within and outside the country. And UNIDO is not left out as its team is on ground to leverage on these feats in partnership. With the pronouncement of champion of industrialization in Nigeria on Governor Ben Ayade, the visit afforded the team to present the Cross River State Industrial Policy Plan, gap analysis on Cross River Pharmaceutical Company, and signing of trust fund agreement for the implementation of the State Agro-Industrial Park.
That's the first time since we have been moving our cooperation in the country. We signed a SEDGE with a state in Nigeria.
With this gap analysis and ultimately fulfilling all the recommendations of the gap analysis, the Cross River Pharmaceutical Factory, which is indeed, like you rightly pointed out, the only pharmaceutical factory south of Nigeria, it will then be producing drugs to deal with issues that are very fundamental to public health, to deal with issues of hunger, poverty, things like malaria, things like yellow fever.
Part of UNIDO's support to this industrial revolution include providing rural agricultural transformation centers, one in each senatorial district, with 3 major crops such as cassava, groundnut, and any other within 1 year, while planning to set up a mega agro-industrial park to serve as hub to these centers. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Our second promo beckons. Stay with us.